Alright, boys, the saddest moments in YouTube history. Alright, let's get to it.
From Jake Paul to Joe Rogan.
Jake Paul! Straight into it, my boys.
With Linus Tech Tips.
Hey, hopefully y'all boys are doing good.
With this iconic live stream.
I've been thinking of
he was supposed to
retiring.
be celebrating 10 million subs.
Okay.
Linus began the stream with a pretty somber tone.
10 mil!
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it all happened. I've got this following of literally 10 million.
Hey, 10 million is crazy though.
And it kind of feels like luck sometimes. I'm probably more like you guys than you realize.
He'd talk about the pressure his work put on his family.
Every time my wife would ask me, how long do we need to keep doing these kinds of hours? Like, how long do we need to keep pushing like this before we can just back off? And like,
wait,
have
what
a
do you
life?
mean?
I started with, hey, look, I'm going to slow down when we have kids. And I said, hey, thanks for basically soloing our first kid. Tell you.
Damn, so he had to do it because it's his family. Hey, family comes first before anything, all right? Don't forget it. But was he streaming like 24 hours or something? Didn't what's his face? Corey Cation? I don't watch him, but I know he's like very popular. Didn't he do the same thing? Like once he hit 10 mil, he disappeared. Or he retired
when we have a second one. And then I said I'd slow down when they're old enough to remember that daddy was always working. And then I said I'd slow down when they got to the age where they really need parent involvement to help them with their homework.
Hey, family man.
Sports club or whatever.
At least he realized it.
Story about Make-A-Wish, then bringing Linus to tears.
I had a pretty life-changing experience a little while ago. The kid in question was too sick to travel, and they asked if I could record a live video for him.
Wow.
So I picked up my phone, I pointed at myself, and I just tried to think of something to say, and I couldn't. And I looked at their guidelines, and it had just the most useless stuff in it. It was like, be upbeat and don't talk about death.
What the fuck?
Like, this kid's 12. He's like dying of leukemia.
Ah, damn.
Last thing I can do right now is be upbeat. The only thought
that is crazy, man.
going through my head is like, everyone and everything I know is gonna die. All I could see in the photo album was my kids.
Why are you thinking about that?
Doing this.
Ironically, the thumbnail became a viral meme, leading to comments such as, came for the memes left with emotions, I'm not crying, I'm just water cooling my eyes, and where men cried. 9. Bradley
That
Martin.
sucks, man.
Brad lost his dad.
Bradley Martin, I know who this is.
6, which is understandably something he struggles to talk about.
That's the thing, you know, when I think about my dad.
Although the saddest example was during his podcast with Tyler Perry.
I don't want to cry.
He did a podcast with
Why
him?
would you even hold it? However it feels, you should let it out. Don't do that, man. Let it.
Damn, he said, why would you even hold
Forgot
it?
about
Some of
cars.
y'all boys got to do that. In the right place, though. Don't be crying in front of your girlfriend, right? Ah, my forearm is cramping.
Brad was thanking Tyler for some advice he'd given earlier.
People get so caught up at where they're at and in the moment of like the negative and the darkness and the evil, and they don't see the light.
It's
It wasn't
men's
as simple
mental
as
awareness
what I
month,
thought it
so
was then, which was my father didn't.
Gotta look out for y'all boys, right? And the ones close to you.
And
that
built
sucks,
up so
man.
many walls and who I was. It's crazy looking back now how much it affected even my personal relationships, my intimate relationships, my relationships with my family, friends, everything.
And was able to end the moment with an excellent silver lining.
What do you say?
Everything that we go through, every hardship, every downfall is going to be a new opportunity to learn and to grow and to become better.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Joe Rogan.
Hey, no matter how much it hurts, but you will always learn something, bro. You're gonna pick up something from it.
3 of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Even if it's a lesson
He
you
and
don't
Kevin
want to go
Smith
through,
were
you will.
talking
You will go
about
through
their
it.
Pets when Joe passively mentioned he saw a veterinarian cry.
He's the only vet I've ever had cry with me.
Over what animal?
I had a puppy that had distemper.
Distemper?
Man, the puppy just, after like a couple of days of being at the house, would have these seizures, like violent
Oof,
seizures.
that sucks,
and then towards
man.
the end, it was having them all day long.
As a result
What?
of the dog's condition,
They put it
had
asleep?
to be put down.
Ah, that
I
sucks,
pushed him
man.
down. I gave him a kiss. I said goodbye. And he put the needle in the dog and put the dog to sleep. Then we both went outside, man. He was just crying, just
Oh, that's tough, man. That sucks.
weeping. He was killed by a drunk driver.
The vet was?
Yeah, that was a rough one. He
The vet got killed?
was killed by a drunk driver.
The vet was?
Yeah.
Wait, what the we're talking about your dog getting put to sleep. Then your veterinarian gets killed by a drunk driver?
That that was a rough one. I got an email, I believe, from his daughter. Super good dude, man.
Leading Kevin to share a similar story.
It's such a weird relationship where one day you're like, I love you to death and I love you so much I have to kill you. And that last fucking hour was like probably...
Damn, now everyone's crying. What the fuck?
Hour of my life, man, because we all knew what was coming. And you're programmed to stop that at all costs. You're programmed to keep people around, keep yourself around.
Exactly, man.
Loaf. As a YouTube
Loaf?
prankster, it
I know
seems
this
though
is. I've
Loaf
seen him.
was always having fun. So when he'd post a video titled
Nah, isn't this
YouTube
man
Saved My
depressed
Life
as
with
shit?
a depressing thumbnail and the following intro.
Failure, loser, and loner are the 3 words that I would use to describe myself.
Why would you say that about
yourself?
yourself?
In for something different.
Yo, never
Loaf
say
began
that
by
stuff
stating
to
he
yourself,
had a
man.
tough time growing up.
High school
Always think
was
positive about
a hard
yourself.
time for me. I was really insecure. I was really unsure of myself. I got bullied pretty bad.
And thought that starting YouTube would help to keep him safe.
If I can make them laugh, like, then they're not gonna hurt me.
However, Loaf struggled to find success.
For a while, it was just terrible, like nothing.
Yeah.
Happening. I would.
Hey, that's
be
how it is,
embarrassed
bro.
when people would ask.
That's
me what
how
I
it is.
did.
Even feeling like a failure in the presence of his parents.
Like my parents have never understood like the YouTube thing. That's probably like the hardest part because it's just like.
Damn, I feel I can't relate. I could kind of relate to this, man, because my peoples, they don't really understand it, but this is something I really want to do, right? And I had to. And when people do ask, what do you do? You know, I do work. All right, I have a job, but when they're like, what else? Like college, this and that. It's like, nah, YouTube. And then they're just like, okay, Omar, like you're a fucking idiot.
Every kid.
That's how it
every kid
always
wants
is,
to
man.
make
That's
their
how it
parents
always
proud.
be.
You know what I mean?
But I don't give a
However,
fuck. I
Loaf
know where
has
I'm
found
going. I know I'm big.
success, recently
I'm rich, I'm
announcing he was
famous, I'm
able to
popular.
buy a
I know it.
house.
And I was able to buy it 100% with cash, which was also a big goal.
Yes,
of mine.
sir.
Syndicate. Similar to Linus, Syndicate was part of the Make-A-Wish program,
Okay.
being chosen by a kid named Alec for them to spend a day together. This
I would
resulted
love to
in
do
a
something like
video
that. I
titled
can't wait till
Making
I
His Wish
get to
Come
do something like this
True,
with
in
someone.
which they flew in a helicopter and became extremely close.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Give me a high five. Did you enjoy the helicopter ride then?
Syndicate inspired Alec to open his own channel.
Hey, yes, sir.
Thank you so much for over 200 subscribers.
W
already.
Alec
That's
in the chat,
pretty
man.
Crazy.
However, just 43 days later, Syndicate made a tragic announcement.
They gave me permission to be able to let you guys know that, unfortunately, he did lose his battle.
Ah.
No, now he's in a better place because he really wasn't in a good spot. So, like, thank you so much.
5. Kaisen.
Damn, bro. Hey, man, God just called him up early, man. That's all. That's how I think about it. God needed him early. That's
I
all.
was trying to become Twitch's
R.I.P.,
most
man.
subscribed streamer, setting a goal of 80,000 to overtake
80,000!
XQC. When he'd reached the milestone in late 2022, he almost couldn't handle it.
80,000 is crazy.
Yeah, man. Kai really blew up, man. He took over.
80,000 is crazy.
By getting a
Does-
supportive call from his mum.
Does
sent
Speed
Kai
have
over
more
the edge.
subscribers in him?
My
On Twitch? Or is it just YouTube?
Thank you.
And we watching and we so proud.
I feel like everyone has heard
Babe,
this
I love you
this
so
phone call right
much.
here.
Babe, I'm so proud of you. You're #1. And you my son. And I'm so happy to be your mom. And I just wanna
Yeah,
let
she
you
knows she getting a new house and a new car.
You've been working hard like this for a long time. So you just only now know. You just finding out. My son works hard. He's a grinder.
Yes, sir.
Every day.
You
Every
number
day,
one and
every
you
night.
my son, and I'm proud to be your mum. Man, straight tears right there. 4. Matthew Santoro. Nicole
Hey,
Arbor
that's
was
goals
his
right there.
girlfriend, and they seemed like a healthy YouTube couple.
All right.
However, 4 months after separating, Matthew uploaded a video titled My Abuse Story.
He got
It's not
abused?
something people ever talk about, but I feel compelled to because I was in an abusive relationship.
He began by
Ah,
explaining that
damn.
Nicole was very controlling.
This individual that I was with was extremely jealous. I had to cut every female out of my life, out of social media, delete every number out of my phone.
Before adding he'd been hit by her in the middle of an argument.
This person prevented me from leaving their home and said, "You're not going anywhere." At which point, I was hit in the face.
Oh, nah, when it gets physical, you gotta go, alright? Like, I could understand the, like, you know, yo, why are you following this girl? This and that. Like, you don't need, you feel me? Right? I understand that. But if they're like trying to make you cut off family and friends, and then they start getting physical, Gotta get out of there. Alright, send that bitch to Narnia. Kick it to the curb.
It's something that men never talk about. Because we're made to believe that we're supposed to be strong. And I never talked about it because I thought that no one would believe me. No one would give a shit.
Leading to one of the saddest videos ever uploaded to YouTube.
There's people that love you and you don't need to be in that relationship.
Damn,
you
bro.
don't need to be with someone that...
Yeah, he needed someone to talk to. You could tell.
And uses you and manipulates
you could definitely
to do
tell,
everything
man.
that they want.
3. Jake Paul. In late...
Hey, honestly, bro, this is what I do a lot. When I don't have, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a lot of friends. Right? I just don't. That's how it is. And when it comes to like having to talk about something, I don't want to bring it up to my parents just because, like, I feel like it's just more on their plate. All right, they already got bills to pay, they got jobs to work, they got their kids to deal with, and it's just like, you know, I don't want to just, you know, throw it all on their shoulders. You feel me? Add more to their plate that's already full. So what I found that works for me, I talk to the man above, all right? And he's always there. He always wants to listen. He'll always hear you out, all right? And whenever I do that, I feel relieved, man. I feel great. And I'm like, yes, bro. Thank you. Thank you for being there, man. And then I feel reminded, like, you got to keep going. It's a part of life. It happens, but you're going to be straight.
Jake announced he was basically quitting YouTube to train for a boxing match he'd scheduled against Anderson Gibb. The fight became his sole focus for almost half a year. And while
he looks like a kid, man.
Jake revealed on Logan's podcast his life felt meaningless after.
Really?
In the fight, right? That was my sole focus and purpose. All of a sudden, I get back to LA. I'm by myself, like sitting in the fucking room, and I'm like, what do I do?
In addition to feeling directionless,
why?
Jake explained he was dealing with 4 different lawsuits.
Damn! What did he do?
The next day,
I mean, better question, what did he not do, all right?
A phone call, like, with my lawyers for one of the lawsuits.
Oh, he's tearing up.
Literally, like something I did not do. And it goes back to, like, people just, like, attacking Jake Paul and, like, wanting to see me fail.
Man. That sucks.
Like, fucking nothing. Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God. And then...
You didn't do it. You're straight.
You're good. Take a break.
You'll be good, my boy.
We can sit for a second.
Which consumed not only his life, but his family's as well.
My mom is, like, spending hours of her day when she's retired. She's in Hawaii. And they're like, yo, your son has to pay this. Like, it just, like, so stupid.
2. Dan TDM. Dan's dog Ellie was a staple in his videos ever since he got her back in 2013.
Dan TDM, 28 mil.
Reaction videos, fashion shows, and even Minecraft content, stealing the hearts of up to 30 million viewers.
All right.
So when
30
he
mil,
uploaded a video
damn.
titled Goodbye Ellie,
some Mr. Beast
Dan
numbers
and
back
his
then.
audience were totally devastated.
Goodbye, Ellie.
Unfortunately, Ellie died.
He'd explain exactly how Ellie passed.
Stings even more because she went in for an infected tooth, so she had to go in for an operation. And we just didn't wake up. Just before we got the phone call that happened, we were already planning like how we were gonna work out picking her up when when our operation is finished.
Damn, so it was like an accident, bro. That's scary because that actually happens to humans. Like, there's been some cases where they get put under anesthesia and they just don't wake up, and that's actually terrifying.
And then you just get hit with that.
Calling the loss one of his most difficult challenges.
I know.
Yeah, man.
Dog, but for us, it's like
that's
it's
family.
Family.
Exactly,
I'm very
bro.
lucky. I haven't had a lot of loss in my life, so this is probably the one that's been the hardest. Like, my heart literally hurts.
1. Theo Von and Sean Strickland.
Theo Von and Sean
There's
Strickland.
been many a sad moment on Theo Von's podcast.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, Theo Von talks a lot.
Sorry, dude. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yet few compare to episode number 476.
Yeah, he did
Theo and
476
Sean began discussing
episodes?
their
Shit.
childhoods.
I used to always sleep in my mom's room because I thought my dad was gonna kill my mom. So like I would like sleep by the door. I'd sleep to make sure she was all right.
Damn, bro.
I'd sleep under the bed.
Yeah, I'm a big UFC fan, bro.
Yet Sean couldn't finish his story as it was simply too traumatic.
I remember when I stopped believing in God, man. Like I had fucking yeah, it's crazy shit, dude.
Damn, Strickland crying, bro. That's
sorry, bud.
How does Theo Von get Sean Strickland to cry? If y'all don't know who Sean Strickland is, he's like probably the most I don't give a fuck controversial UFC fighter in ever. All right, like he comes after homophobics and gays. He makes fun of people. He attacks weak people. He's almost like the Andrew Tate in a way.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's all good, dude.
And so to see this is actually
You don't have to
crazy.
talk, man. I can just sit here with you for a minute.
I can just sit here. We can just
Nah,
sit
it's
here.
all good, dude. 6 seconds, just process it.
Leading Theo to comfort him by offering his own story.
I remember being so scared when I was a kid. Like I was saying, like.
Hey, W. Theo Vaughn stepping in.
Another animal wouldn't come. So I would stand up on my bed at night and I would pee around my bed in a circle because I was afraid that things were going to get me.
Shit, who were you afraid? Like any particular? Just
everything. I mean, I was just.
Damn, but hey, that's the end of the video. Make sure boys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see next. I'll see y'all boys then.